Hi crafty friend, it's Justine Dvorak, and here I am with another Trinity Stamps project. We are going to make this cute little Nomi card, and we are going to go from flat to fab, and we're going to build depth on our card panels. So let's talk about what products I am using for this cutie pie card. First of all, I'm using the Gnome One Like You 4x4 stamp. Then I'm going to pull in from the Dainty Scallop Circle, and then finish with a little bit of some embellishments that are the Sweet Tart clay embellishments. And of course, I'm using my halftone stencil, which is from Trinity. This is my favorite stencil of all of their stencils. I would just go out on a limb and say that. And then we're also going to add a wobbler. And Trinity does sell the mini wobblers, so that's perfect. You can get all the things here on Trinity. Speaking of which, look at this brush. This is a blending buddy. It's from Trinity, and I'm using it with my stencil here. And I'm doing a tone on tone. So I have some red cardstock from my stash and some red ink that is from Simon Hurley there from my stash. And I'm just building just a hint of a little bit of texture on the background. I'm going to remove it. I'll just show you how I put my little lids on. I'll show you twice. I just kind of put it at an angle, twist, 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 snap. Carrie taught me how to do that, and that's what I do. All right, so I don't want it to be super flat. I want it to be kind of an abstract background. So I'm going to do this whole process once again. But the second time, I'm just going to use up whatever remains on the stencil for ink. I'm not adding any more ink. This is just, again, like a little whisper of texture. There we go. Snap. I've got it back on. So you can see the little circles, they're not perfect. It's not straight. It's just a little bit of texture, and that just helps build depth. Speaking of building depth and adding interest, I'm going to add some little splatter here. I like to use the little spray bottle, like the little wands, and I always spray off camera, but here's what it looks like when it's done. Ta-da! So I have some worn lipstick oxide there and some white acrylic splatter. I'm going to set that off to the side, and as that dries, let's color up my gnome. I love gnomes so much. I think they are so cute and they make me smile. And look at this guy's little feet and toes. So ridiculously cute. Well, I am going to color him up with some Copic markers, starting with his skin. We'll just build a little bit of some depth and shadow with just adding the darkest color of each color that I'm using here on the bottom of the image, and then just building up a little bit of a lighter color toward the top as if the light source was coming from above, because he's floating around and maybe the light is above him. And I keep it simple with my Copic coloring, but I have been trying to get into adding even more depth by adding some of those darker tones. I know some people call it like the scary dark. So that's what we're trying to do here. Next, I'm going to work on his beard. I'm going to use my warm grays for this. I have really just kind of forgotten about my warm gray markers because, well, as you can see, I have a yellow piece of tape on there, and that's my coating system in my craft room to tell me that these ones are very juicy. So to use caution, I take off both lids. But for the darkest part here, I'm just adding lots of little strokes to mimic the direction of the beard hair. Coloring hair well does take a lot of skill and talent that I am still working on. So I'm just going to try my best here and make it look hairy but still cute. Going from my darkest color to my lightest color. I just love how this gnome has been illustrated to have this swirling beard, and the little curl at the end is just oh so cute. So I'll then take my mid-tone here, or my lightest tone actually, and go over the whole thing and just kind of blend it out. That's basically the process I like to use for coloring up images. And one thing that I love about Trinity's shop is that their stamp sets have coordinating dies, and they die cut out so perfectly, and it makes it so effortlessly easy to use their stuff. This little guy is making me giggle because of his little smile, his huge nose. All right, moving along, now that his hair and skin is colored, I'm going to work on his wings next. Now, I wanted them to be kind of like a purpley blue, so I'm going with the blue-violet color here, and then bringing in some more blue tones to keep that blue throughout. I think red and blue are a great little color combination, and it just kind of is a little bit of a nod to that wing color. You could do grays, but although, I don't know, my wings, I wanted the wings to stand out from the beard, basically. If I were to make the wings gray or even use a cool gray, I think it would have blended in too much and it wouldn't have been enough color definition to make the beard and the wings be separate. And I didn't want it to look like one huge blob. Moving on to all of the little red parts, I'm going to make the heart and the hat, and then his little arrows and arrow satchel, this red color combination. And I just kind of like to use my dark tone again and then go medium and then light. But a good way to build that depth, because that's what we're working on today, is to have the light source coming from one direction. So I try to do that with the skin, having the light come from above. You can also have the light coming from different corners of your card. It just kind of depends, but whatever you choose, just try to keep it consistent throughout your project. And then it will look a little more realistic and seamless. Now I'm going to finish off with my lightest red here. This is prawn. It always makes me giggle because I think of all the Australians with the shrimp and the prawn. Love that. There we go. We'll just blend that out. And then adding a little bit of white gel pen on top at the end here in a few minutes really does finish off the cuteness of this little guy. Then I wanted to bring in some pinks. So I did a little bit of auditioning of which pink I wanted to use. And I ended up going with this one, just going around the whole heart. No shading with this part, but I think it's just fine because we're going to add some white gel pen. And then I am leaving the little lacy doily part of the heart that he's holding white to kind of coordinate with that round circle die that I'm going to be using in just a minute here. I'll just quick die cut that out. 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! Ta-done. Isn't that easy peasy? I love it. So then after that, we're going to build dimension and such with that white gel pen, like I said. Do a little bit of that speeding up, but I'm adding it to the top parts of all of the images, so as if the light would catch those tall parts. Now that my background is dry, I can add on my layers. And of course, my sentiment. The stamp set comes with 2 sentiments, which is great because you can choose what you want. But to help build my depth, I'm going to add foam to the back of these pieces. I have the Dainty Scallop Circle die, which is a great die set. It has, let's see here. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 circles. Oh, that messed with my eyes for just a second there. There's a lot of circles happening. But it has 5 layers. You can build layers and depth that way. But I'm going to use just one of those. I'm using the second largest circle. And it fits perfectly on an A2. Isn't that nice? Oh, yes. And then I'm taking this circle. Now, this was just a leftover scrap from one of the other projects that I did with the mini album. So it would fit on a mini album if you wanted to use the Dainty Scallop Circle for a mini album. But I figured let's just add another panel to help build that depth. And then I'm going to pop up my sentiment here with some foam tape as well. Popping all the things up with all of the foam to make it nice and keep the dimension closer to the viewer, and that helps it go from flat to fab. Now for little wobblers, I like to put the thickest part of the wobbler onto the item I want to wiggle. So I want my gnome to wiggle, not the card. So I'm just going to center my stamped image there on the thicker part, and then the thin part I put onto the project. And I love a wobbler, and everyone I've given a wobbler to ends up loving to wobble and wiggle it. So I like to prepare for the most aggressive wobbler. So I always will add liquid glue to the back of my wobblers so it won't fall off and it's ready to go for all of the wobbling adventures. So I'll just do a little bit of a squiggly squiggle there and then use my little reverse tweezers to center it onto the heart, the circle. I'm so sorry. And then I like to kind of sneak underneath and use 2 fingers and just hold down those 2 sides of the wobbler and just give it a good press. And just like that, it's ready to wobble. And a card that is made by me would never be complete without an embellishment. So I was a little picky and I picked out 5 white hearts from the Sweet Tart embellishments. Now, Trinity has over 600 embellishments, as you may or may not know. So they do just sell the white ones individually, but why not get a pack that has white, pink, and red? And you can choose which color you want for your projects. Love this little guy. I wish I could pass this through the screen to you so you could wobble it because it is so fun to wobble. And as you can see, I'm doing that a whole bunch here. Well, if you have liked or learned anything from this video, please hit the like button and let me know what you think about this one in the comments down below. I will have all of the products linked if you are interested in grabbing any of those. And I thank you so much for watching today. Bye.